Our Bill Dundee Monday night will be meeting in what will have only one remaining in Memphis. Talk to Jimmy Hart about it, see what he had to say, and I know this will thrill Jerry, but I just thought you might be interested. Let's listen to Jimmy.
It's unbelievable. Talking about a dream match. You know, the people ask me, hey, what do you think about Jerry Lawler and Bill Dundee and a loser leave town? I think that's the greatest news I've ever heard in my life. And you know where my money's at, baby? My money's going to be on Bill Superstar Dundee. You know why? Because at one time, Bill Dundee was probably one of the greatest wrestlers to ever come in this territory. And I'm glad that he's finally thinking the right way. I am glad his head's finally on straight. You know, I'd pay $1,000 just to sit down there at ringside myself to see this match. And I'm telling you right now, King, goodbye, baby. Goodbye, because now he's out of my life forever. And I believe this, Bill Superstar Dundee. And I use the word superstar because there are a lot of stars, but there are only a few superstars, and you're one. Goodbye, King. Goodbye forever, man. Dundee's going to be the winner. I love it. A dream match. A dream match.
Now, Lance Russell, there's a man that knows you better than anybody, Jerry Lawler. And
yeah, there's a man that you know when he's lying, when his lips are moving, he's lying. So if you ever want to know how to place a bet, just go against anything that Jimmy Hart says. You see, he's talking about finally getting his head right, finally thinking straight. That's the problem with you, Bill. Now, I'm not going to sit out here and deny that over the past 8 years you have been a big star in this area. In Memphis, Tennessee, you're one of the biggest stars area. That's true. But the problem is, as I've said before, you used to have every one of those people sitting over there, and every one of those people that are watching out there used to be for the superstar. They used to be for Bill. You and I were partners. But you see what happened, and what you didn't stop and take just a few minutes to think about, was the fact that all of a sudden, some new young talent like the Fabulous Ones and like Terry Taylor and like the Rock and Roll Express came into the area. And all of a sudden, all of these little girls over here started cheering for them, which that's fine. They're nice-looking guys, and they're good wrestlers, and these girls liked them. And you couldn't stand it. That ate at you so bad that you got so jealous that you had to turn your back on all of these people who you thought they had turned their back on you. So now, Dundee, you think that the way to get back at them is by throwing all of this stuff in their face and try to beat people like me and like the Fabulous Ones and the people that they're now cheering for. Well, brother, let me tell you something. There's only two ways, a right way and a wrong way, and your way is wrong, brother. You're way off base. You're going down the wrong road, and it's all because of jealousy. But, brother, I'll tell you what, you're looking at the man that can straighten you out, and you're going to have somewhere else to sit and think about the error of your ways, and maybe someday you'll get your head on straight and then come back here in the right way.
No, sir. All I did was wrestle Terry Taylor. I stood out here and I told the people he was a paper champion. They got hot at me for doing that. All I told the people was I could beat him. But
you got hot at Terry Taylor because these people liked him. Tell the truth, Dundee. That's the problem.
No, sir. All I got...
What do you think about the Fabulous Ones?
Well, as a tag team, I guess they may be number 3, maybe number 4 in the world, but I didn't have this, brother, and I got it now, and that's what's eating at you, Craw. That's what you can't stand. You can't walk down the streets of Memphis and people say, you ain't the Southern champion no more. Bill Dundee is. Bill Dundee's the Southern champion. And I always used to wonder, Lawler, when you and me was the tag team, brother, who used to do all the work. I used to win most of the falls. Just think back there, Lawler. Just think back. I beat most of them guys.
You mentioned in the tag team that there was an era. You guys went out, you beat everybody in the cotton-picking country, that one of the top teams that Eddie had right here that beat them in there. You were great friends, and you went up and down the road.
Now, let's don't go so far as saying we were ever friends.
We went up and down the road, all right. We went, now listen to this now. We used to go 300 miles sometimes in a car. And you know what we did in the car? He would plug Jerry Lawler singing Jerry Lawler songs, and I would have to go 300 miles and 300 miles back. Now, you're right. We was friends, brother, until he thought he could sing. And I said, King, you go to drive yourself in your own little car, playing your own little tape, because I'm going in mine.
Well, yeah. Listen.
See, when we were make those trips, what actually happened, there was nothing but silence. And you know why there was silence? Because if you didn't talk about Bill Dundee and how great he was, he didn't know anything else to talk about.
Okay. Hey, we have determined there will be a loser. One of you will be leaving, and I don't want to argue about that right now. But there is a serious question as to what have you done any thinking about what you will do when you leave? I mean, this is a severe thing. You guys have been here a long time, been the top attractions in the entire market, and you must have thought something about what happens when you leave.
Ask his
Bill
Royal
and
Majesty
Jerry?
what he did.
Well, first of all, let me just, you can't enter into a match like this without making some kind of plans about what would happen. You know, I don't even like to talk about losing because, first of all, that's something you don't want to get in the frame of mind to even think that you're going to lose.
Well,
because
you better
that's
get it in your mind, son. You better, because you're going.
Let him comment.
Okay,
Bill.
okay.
Well, let me just say, all right, I'll tell you this, Lance. I've been real fortunate in the fact that possibly the publicity from the Andy Kaufman incident, possibly the matches that I had against Nick Bockwinkel in actually defeating him and becoming the top contender for the AWA belt. These things have helped me in the fact that I think that I would be able to wrestle anywhere in the country. I have wrestled, as a matter of fact, I am wrestling a week from Saturday night in Chicago. I wrestled in Minneapolis, Denver. I could wrestle just about anywhere I want to in the country. But as most of the people realize, Memphis, Tennessee is my home. I've lived for the past 7 years in Hendersonville, Tennessee. I have a home there also. I've just recently bought another home here in Memphis. And you know, I'm not really saying that I would like to. I'm not really saying that I would like to leave the area. Possibly, should I lose the match? I have had some offers of radio, television. I may just not wrestle and just stay here in Memphis.
Okay.
Now, I guess Cecil B. DeMille's probably called him. I'll tell you what they did, Lawler. Now, this happens to all great athletes, and you was great, brother. Joe Namath was great. The guy that sells the coffee percolator, the baseball player. I don't even know baseball because I don't even know his name. He was great at what he did.
You don't know much about much about sports, do you?
I know enough about this sport, Jack, to beat you, and that's what everybody in Memphis knows. Lawler's lost it, brother. The superstars got it, and they offered you to sell the little old coffee makers and to sell their cars and Dunn's transmission. You're already doing that, Jack, because they know you are a washed-up athlete.
Well, how about telling us what you're going to do when you have to leave?
Well, I never give it no thought because I ain't leaving, but my phone rings off the wall. They want this belt. They want the champion, and I am the champion, but I never really give it no thought, Lawler, because I'm not going, brother. I'm staying right here because I am the king of the hill. You better start
thinking about it.
Okay, we got some comments because of the intense interest that Eddie had been contacted and said, hey, is this right that there's a loser leave town and all. Freddie Miller out of the World Championship Wrestling in Atlanta, Georgia, had some comments, and I thought it was interesting what Freddie had to say about this monumental match coming up. Let's listen.
Hello, everybody. This is Fred Miller for World Championship Wrestling. You know, this is symbolic of going everywhere in the world to bring the top professional wrestlers to television and to the arenas all over the world, and so World Championship Wrestling has done. And it's come to our attention that in the Memphis area, there have been a series of matches in which eventually the loser will leave town. The one man who remains king of the hill, so to speak, and the other must leave town. It's come down to Bill Dundee and the man who calls himself the king of wrestling, a man who's certainly very well known throughout this great country. That's Jerry Lawler. Well, in Tennessee, in Kentucky, and Indiana, World Championship Wrestling, now on the move, has its eye on the top professional wrestlers. And these are two of them. Either Bill Dundee or Jerry Lawler, whichever man loses the match, would be more than welcome with World Championship Wrestling, because we know they have the caliber, they have the experience, they have the ability to excite the wrestling fans and to represent themselves, and therefore World Championship Wrestling, wherever they go, very well. So good luck to both Bill Dundee and Jerry Lawler, and to the fans in Tennessee, in Kentucky, and Indiana, our sincere best wishes for continued good luck in going to the matches and also in pulling for your favorite wrestler. And whether it's Bill Dundee or Jerry Lawler, either would be more than welcome here at World Championship Wrestling. Good luck to you both.
I notice the big smile. Let me talk to Eddie Marlin just a moment, if you guys please can hold the argument. Then. Okay. Eddie, I noticed Freddie had kind of a big smile on his face in there. And we're asking the king and the superstar about what kind of plans they're making. The pure honest fact is that you're losing as a result of this match, because one of these great attractions is going to be gone. And when it comes down to well, the bottom line, which is dollar and cent.
The great attraction is staying me.
Okay, Bill.
Well, Lance.
Eddie, have you thought about what happens? You can't replace overnight somebody of the magnitude of these two men.
Well, really, you can't replace them either way. But Dundee said his phone's been ringing. Mine's been ringing off the wall, because wrestlers all over the world has found out about this match, and they want to come to Memphis. They know we need some top wrestlers here, whichever one of these men have to leave. So this first guy I talked to, he's a new young star, and I think one day he might be a Bill Dundee or a Jerry Lawler. I had a word with him.
Yeah, we mentioned Tom Pritchard just a moment ago. It's a new name here to the folks, but Tom had some comments to make.
That's right. If you want to show them now.
Okay.
You know, Memphis, Tennessee has a lot to be proud of. Home of the late, great Elvis Presley. Bill Superfoot Wallace, world karate champion, lives there. And also some of the top talent in professional wrestling come to Memphis, Tennessee in the Mid-South Coliseum. Well, you know, I've had the opportunity to wrestle all over this country, from Los Angeles, California to Atlanta, Georgia. And everywhere I've ever gone, they've always talked about who's in Memphis, Tennessee now. What's happening in Memphis, Tennessee? Did you see what happened in Memphis, Tennessee? And it seems like there's a lot of things going on and a lot of things happening right now in Memphis, Tennessee. Ladies and gentlemen, I have the opportunity to come to Memphis, Tennessee, thanks to the promoters there. And I welcome this because I understand a lot of top talent, a lot of the top wrestlers in the country, in the world today, are making their mark in Memphis, Tennessee. I'd like to just tell everybody I'm coming. I'll be there Monday night. I'm looking forward to see everybody. And that's a T for Texas, T for Tennessee, and T for Tom Pritchard. Thank you very much. I'll see you there.
Okay.
Hey, you really don't think that clan could beat me, do you? If when I get rid of Lawler, you don't think that four-eyed nothing could beat me, do you?
All right, Billy.
Well, I think Tom's, he's a
You
young...
see what he's bringing into the place, you, Lawler? You see what he thinks can take your place? That goof right there?
I think he's a young, good-looking star, and I've talked to the others, too. I talked to one man in particular that he brought excitement to Memphis and all over there every time he came into the arenas, and he's changed his ways some now. He's turned out to be a crowd favorite everywhere he goes, and that's Austin Idol. I've talked to him at great length.
Yeah, I heard that Austin is walking kind of the straight and narrow now.
That's right. He's a changed man, and the people love him. And then one other guy I've talked to this past week, he's probably next to these two here as far as box office, excitement, and you name it. And you got a piece of film on him. I wish you'd show that right now. Probably the third top man in the nation.
What a boy. Who?
Ooh, let's see, that boogeyman feels good. I said handsome Jimmy feels good, baby. I want to say all my people out there, all my brothers and sisters. Yeah, the question was asked, where is handsome Jimmy today? I'm right here. Raparina, where you at? Memphis. Woo, I love Memphis. I was born and raised in Memphis, Tennessee, baby. I want to say, next time in Memphis, Tennessee, I'm coming down that aisle. We're going to boogie-woogie people. I'm going to hook and hug and kiss everybody right there in Memphis Coliseum because I love my people. People, yeah. You know, I went last night. Where was I last night? Who said that? I'll tell you where I was last night. I was at 3 World's Fair and 2 all-night gas station last night. Yeah, I've been to Mars. Who said Mars? That's where I hang around, Jack. Mars. I live in Neptune, though. Memphis, Tennessee. I love you to death. I don't say it, little Mr. Cohee. Mr. Cohee, send my money. Send my money, Cohee. You understand? I love you, though, Daddy. How's body all right? All right. Listen at me now. This is what's happening. I understand that Kingfish having a lot of trouble with Kenny Patera. Well, I had a little trouble myself. Hey, Randy, run that film. Show Memphis, baby.